And it looked like Chennedy Carter has finally broken her silence about this Caitlin Clark situation. Chennedy Carter just jumped out the window and justified an assault on Caitlin Clark.
Imagine this, you're a dynamic scorer in professional basketball, capable of dropping nearly 18 points on any given night, yet somehow you find yourself completely adrift, unwanted by every single team in the league. This isn't a hypothetical, it's the baffling situation Chennedy Carter found herself in.
Can you break down that situation that happened?
Yeah. So, in basketball a little bit, there's things called talking, what you like to call smack or whatever everybody likes to call it.
Yeah.
Plays before things are said, you know, that's a part of basketball.
While the WNBA was basking in the unprecedented spotlight brought by rookie phenom Caitlin Clark, Carter, despite her proven offensive talent, became a ghost in the free agency frenzy. Why? The answer lies in a single explosive moment on the court and a subsequent attempt to explain it away that might have sealed her fate.
So we know Chennedy Carter has always been kind of up against the fence when speaking about this Caitlin Clark situation. We remember when she first got asked about this during a press conference, she stated that she wasn't going to speak on Caitlin Clark. Now we know months later, she still hasn't spoken on the whole situation. That is until today. Yes, Chennedy Carter finally broken her silence about the Caitlin Clark hip check.
Let's go back to that fateful day in June 2023, Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever. The play concludes, but Carter doesn't head back down court. Instead, video evidence shows a sharp veer, a direct line towards an unsuspecting Caitlin Clark. Then, contact a hard blindside shoulder or hip check delivered off the ball.
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter.
Clark hits the hardwood. The initial whistle signals just a common foul, something routine, but referees gather, review the tape. The verdict changes swiftly. It's upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. The message is clear. This wasn't just basketball. It was deemed intentional and unnecessary.
So she was signed to the Chicago Sky with Teresa Weatherspoon, with Angel Reese, with Camila Cardoso, and, you know, the rest of the folks. And then we get to the body check. This was originally ruled an away from the ball foul, but it was obviously a flagrant foul. It really upset a lot of people, which really escalated the issue. And it was really just poor sportsmanship on Kennedy's part.
What happens next is almost as telling. Caitlin Clark, the target of the aggressive hit, simply picks herself up. There's no yelling, no dramatic reaction, no retaliation. She brushes it off, ready for the next play, displaying a level of professional composure that stood in stark contrast to the action itself.
It's one thing pushing Caitlin Clark, and it's another thing blindsiding her. Like, I don't think there's no justification for that. Like, to be honest, we can be honest here.
While Clark remained composed, the reaction elsewhere was instantaneous and furious. Fans watching live and online erupted. Commentators immediately condemned the play, recognizing it transcended aggressive defense into the realm of a cheap shot aimed at the league's brightest new star. The controversy ignited instantly.
Playing a league where you're targeted like that. How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the court? It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap opera.
This wasn't Carter's first rodeo when it comes to on-court issues. Her history of volatility became a major talking point after the Clark incident. In 2021, while playing for the Atlanta Dream, she was suspended indefinitely for what the team called conduct detrimental to the team, following a heated argument that escalated beyond acceptable bounds. This pattern of behavior had already raised red flags about her professionalism and ability to function within a team structure.
Atlanta Dream did suspend her in the middle of the sophomore season, basically saying she was a detriment to the team and the team culture. So then the Atlanta Dream decided to trade her to the Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks.
For keen observers, this wasn't just an isolated incident. Red flags immediately went up, referencing Carter's past. Specifically, her time with the Atlanta Dream in 2021, which ended abruptly with an indefinite suspension for conduct detrimental to the team. The details were murky, but the label stuck.
What she said to the media.
Kennedy, on the play before bumping in with Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit after the fever
I
score.
answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
That previous suspension suggested the Clark incident might not be a one-off mistake. Was this part of a larger pattern of behavior? Questions about Carter's temperament, professionalism, and ability to handle conflict constructively within a team setting resurfaced, adding a troubling dimension to the flagrant foul.
I said Chennedy Carter wasn't going to make a WNBA roster. And as it sit, April 20th, training camps start for teams in 7 days. Training camp for a majority of the WNBA start April the 27th. Chennedy Carter is not on any WNBA roster. Want to know why? Because it's Chennedy Carter's fault she's not on any WNBA rosters.
The timing amplified everything. Caitlin Clark wasn't just another rookie. She was a transformational figure, driving record viewership, ticket sales, and media buzz for the WNBA. Her arrival marked a pivotal moment for the league's growth and visibility.
I think a play before, maybe I was elbowed. Okay, that happens. Think the next play down, maybe something was said. And then maybe there was like a little clip of somebody like yelling in my face. And then we go down the court. Then I hit like a little bucket, you feel me? Come down, hit like a little nice little mid-range pull up. And then I just like, just give her like a little like, I'm here. Like, I don't think it was, what's crazy? Me and my brother went back and watched, and we seen a lot of clips in the NBA of guys getting like pushing LeBron. Like I think it was Jeff Teague or somebody who like pushed LeBron out of bounds, like said, man, I was mad because like we couldn't stop him.
With this unprecedented momentum, the WNBA had everything to gain and everything to lose. Protecting its stars, especially its biggest draw, and maintaining an image of professionalism became critically important. Carter's actions flew directly in the face of this carefully cultivated progress.
She did. She stopped and went through. Like, oh. Like, that is not... We watched the clip. There is no way that we're letting this happen. Like, saying that it was nothing. Like this is not just a tap.
In the immediate aftermath, Carter seemed to downplay the incident. When pressed by media, she notably avoided answering questions directly about Caitlin Clark, offering vague responses or deferring. This lack of immediate accountability only fueled the speculation and criticism surrounding her actions.
So I'm just like, it's like one of those things like it happens in basketball. I know people try to say, oh, it's not one of those things.
It's not a personal thing, it's a competitive thing.
It happens in basketball, and like it's just one of those things. But like, yeah, it's kind of what happened. Then it spiraled out of control.
And then the media takes whatever narrative they want to
put out.
You
watch every single game to see if you can find any deflects in my game, and like it's really nothing that you probably could say too much about. So then you have trolls, and that's why I said they're gonna be around regardless. But yeah, it was just like a nice little like tap, like I'm here, not to like harm you or anything. If you want to push somebody, you're gonna like full force.
Social media wasted no time calling out the obvious damage control operation. One fan's comment perfectly captured the collective eye roll. You all seriously don't believe her, do you? This reaction wasn't isolated. Basketball communities across platforms responded with similar skepticism to what many view as a desperate attempt at image rehabilitation.
This is crazy, and this changes everything, because all this time we've been waiting on Chennedy Carter to take responsibility for what she did to Caitlin Clark. It shows me, I ain't even got to watch all this footage right here, but I am going to look at it. But it's showing me right now that she still is not taking responsibility for her actions. She's finna blame this whole situation on Caitlin Clark supposedly talking smack to her.
Fast forward several months. The next WNBA season is approaching, training camps are about to open, and Carter remains unsigned. Suddenly, after a long period of relative quiet on the matter, she sits down for a high-profile interview, seemingly to finally tell her side of the story.
I mean, that happens, man. Like, it's one of those things. I'm a great player. She's a great player. It looks a certain way. Everybody's going to have their views on it. But my personal view is, I don't have anything against her. She's a great player, and so am I. And I've got buckets all that season. You know what I'm saying? So just one of those things that I love it though. They think I hate it. I love it. I love when it gets riled up and juicy like that.
You feed off of like what people say and shit, and it makes you more motivated.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Oh yeah, I love the hate. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the interview, Carter attempts to reframe the narrative. She suggests prior smack talk had occurred, even hinting she might have been elbowed by Clark on a previous play, a claim video evidence doesn't support. She positions the incident as part of the game's verbal sparring.
This is a bad look, bro. This is her pretty much begging for a team to pick her up. Oh, it's just part of basketball. That's not part of basketball, bro. What you did to Caitlin Clark, you can't justify that assault.
Carter then describes the forceful check that sent Clark to the floor as merely a little tap, or giving Clark some "I'm here" energy. This description starkly contrasted with the visual evidence of the impact, immediately drawing skepticism from viewers who had seen the replay countless times.
Chennedy Carter just jumped out the window and justified an assault on Caitlin Clark.
Trying to normalize her actions, Carter compared the incident to physical plays seen in the NBA, citing examples like players getting frustrated and pushing stars like LeBron James. Critics argued this comparison was flawed, ignoring the off-ball blindside nature of her contact with Clark.
Her actions prove that no team is willing to bet their luck on her. Now, granted, she's a dominant scorer, excellent basketball player in certain aspects of the game, but her behavior on and off the court is making it look real shady for her to get picked up by a team.
The claim of a preceding elbow from Clark was quickly scrutinized and widely debunked by analysts reviewing the game footage. This perceived fabrication further undermined Carter's credibility and made her explanation seem less like truth and more like convenient revisionism.
And there has not been a peep about anywhere that she could be landing in this free agency. So a lot of people, including myself, are wondering, is she worth the risk now?
The online reaction to the interview was overwhelmingly negative. Accusations of damage control flooded social media. Fans and commentators expressed disbelief at her downplaying of the event and her apparent lack of genuine remorse or accountability for the flagrant foul.
I mean, she can score. She can score with the lights out. I mean, she can. She's pure offense, a pure shooting guard, scoring guard, instant offense. But if you're a team, do you really want her on the team? I wouldn't.
Many questioned the timing of the interview. Why now, after months of silence, right when teams were finalizing rosters and her free agency status was becoming alarmingly conspicuous? It fueled speculation that this was less about transparency and more about a desperate PR push.
I mean, good luck. Good luck. I don't know who's going to take her. I don't know what teams are going to take her. No, I don't think she's going to the Indiana Fever. I mean, yeah, bring her in after what happened. I don't think so.
Perhaps the most jarring element was Carter's abrupt change in tune regarding Caitlin Clark herself. Having previously questioned Clark's skill set beyond shooting, Carter now repeatedly referred to her as a great player, even invoking LeBron James. This felt like a complete reversal.
Come on, cheer for your teammates, be a part of this team, and then ensues an altercation between the two where Chennedy Carter was sent to the locker room mid-game, of which afterwards, after the game, this is what has been reported. I guess Chennedy Carter wanted to fight Courtney Williams, like physically fight Courtney Williams, who backed away from this and was like, no way. So there was no actual physical altercation that happened.
This sudden praise, lacking any accompanying apology or acknowledgement of wrongdoing, struck many as insincere. It seemed like a calculated move to appear more reasonable or sportsmanlike rather than a genuine evolution of respect, further cementing the perception of strategic maneuvering.
To an extent, like you can criticize, especially on the court, when somebody 100% cheap shots your favorite player. Like, there's a level of going at it. We all know with Chennedy Carter, it went way too far. Like, we can be honest here, it did go way too far with Chennedy.
Despite this public attempt at rehabilitation, the needle didn't move in the league. As training camps opened, the silence from all 12 WNBA franchises was deafening. No contract offers, no workout invitations, not even credible rumors of interest surfaced. Carter remained entirely on the outside. Significantly, her previous team, the Chicago Sky, didn't even extend her a qualifying offer. Teams rarely let leading scorers walk away for nothing unless there are serious concerns that outweigh their on-court contributions. It was a powerful, unspoken statement from the organization that knew her best. The sentiment seemed league-wide. An anonymous WNBA executive provided perhaps the most damning quote, telling media outlets they wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. This raw honesty revealed just how toxic Carter's reputation had become among decision-makers. This entire saga underscores a crucial reality in team sports. Talent isn't everything. Concerns about Carter's past behavior, her perceived lack of accountability for the Clark incident, and the potential disruption to team chemistry clearly outweighed her scoring prowess in the eyes of every WNBA front office. So, Chennedy Carter, a player with undeniable offensive gifts, found herself sidelined during a boom period for women's basketball. Was it excessive punishment or the inevitable consequence of crossing a line, particularly against the league's marquee star, and then failing to convincingly own it? Her story serves as a stark, ongoing lesson about reputation, accountability, and the delicate balance between competitive fire and conduct detrimental not just to a team, but potentially to an entire career. The league's message seems clear. Protect the game, protect the stars, and character counts.